We did a thing. We did a check.
That was funny.
Not really. Because I was like, what in the world did we do? What? How did that happen? All right. What is going on, Big Bird Nation? Why is that so loud right there? I don't know.
Always been that loud.
Woo. Okay, that's a little bit better.
Hey, April. Hey, Two Family. What's up?
Who's all in the house? We got Mama Z. Oh, can you hear her teeth rattle? April Hill, Copper Kettle, 2 family in the Homestead.
It's the Homestead.
I tell you, TJ, Heather Russo.
I love Heather Russo.
Trip H, he thinks he's the game. He got to see something cool today, but more on that later. Look at this! Look at this.
Ah, look who decided to come on in.
I got so many trucking songs in my head right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Roll on highway.
That's not one of them.
Sorry.
So,
with needle and thread.
hey baby, it's cold outside. And that's about all we're going to say about that. We're not going to stick on this for 10, 15 minutes. Boom, it's cold outside. We get it. We're done. We have a heater and a fire going in the house. So, hey, what's going on in the Homestead land?
And we got one right here next to me. I'm like, I'm good. So.
What a week. What a week. So, I want to brag. Can I brag?
No.
Good. I want to brag about Kyle over there at Trip H Farm.
Mm-hmm.
He got to do something amazing today. His wife did hook us up in the Big Bear Nation on the Facebook thing. I didn't get to really watch all of it. But he got to witness a bald eagle, our national bird. There was something wrong, and I'm not gonna do any spoilers. Go watch it in the Nation. In fact, my man Kai over there at Trip H has a video coming out here pretty soon with
about it.
So if you're not subbed to them, go ahead and sub to them. Tell them that Big Bear sent you. And matter of fact, use the discount code Big Bear is the man, and you will get a 75% discount on your subscription to Trip H Homestead. You know what? I'll tell you what, even better. I'm so excited about this video he's got coming out. I will pay for y'all's subscription to his YouTube channel. So y'all just go on over there, hit the sub button, and then Kyle, just go ahead and send me that bill. But there was this bald eagle that got injured. And this guy, I'm trying to dance around it so there's like no spoilers. Anyway, they got to they did something with it today.
Let's just suffice it to say that there was
It's
a really cool video.
It's Kyle, Trip H Homestead, and a bald eagle. Go do it so that way it doesn't spoil anything.
Right.
It's super exciting.
Yes.
And I know our girls get mentioned in it, I think. And so there's that. So, but he got to do something super cool today. And then I got fussed at by his wife. Because if y'all remember, Kyle was here a couple weeks ago, and he milled up a bunch of lumber for us. Well, I've been putting that lumber to work.
Yes, you have.
And I've been hooking up the Homestead, y'all. And so he milled some cedar for us. And it probably has to be, I don't know, maybe I'm a little biased because it came from our homestead.
It's very pretty.
But it's got to be some of the prettiest cedar I've ever seen in my life.
They did something with it. Typical story.
Yep. Yeah. And so we used it. He milled it almost perfect. Almost perfect. I can't say perfect because his wife said already that his hand went... And so we'll say almost perfect. He did a very good job milling it.
He did an okay job milling it, and it kind of looks.
I mean, how hard is it? He stepped back there and he did this. You know what I mean?
Come on now.
It's not like he climbed up in a tree or something. Anyway. So I was able to use that cedar as baseboards and the trim around doors. And so that color that I picked out for the foyer, That cedar just makes it pop. I should become an interior decorator with the talent that I have with picking colors.
Well, then I'll let it fall on you that it looks green to me. I'll just make it your fault. I don't know what it is, y'all, but when you're standing in the foyer, it looks like a gray color. But if you take a picture of it, or you put, lighting on it and take video of it, or like when we're Marcoing, it looks green. And I don't know why, because when you're standing in the room, it does not look green. It's the weirdest thing.
TJ asked, we got a package today, but I think that was not...
No, that was the bone saw.
That was the bone
Now,
saw.
I haven't been up to the actual mailbox, so if it would fit inside a mailbox, we haven't gone up there yet. How are the goats settled? Climbed a tree and gave his wife a heart attack.
The goats. Let's see. How can we say this about the goats? They're
mean.
They are living up to their name of the Mean Girls.
Mm-hmm.
I am in the process of building them a movable goat pen.
Hey, pathways.
And I am going to stay with the theme of Mean Girls.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to get the name of that high school. And I'm going to have Carol paint the name of the high school on their movable goat hutch, goat housing unit, because they're gonna.
It's like North Shore or something like that.
There is definitely a learning curve from going from being behind hard fencing to goat netting, and I'm afraid that sometimes at night that they're probably going to try to jump and come in and kill me, because when they do get popped, I always happen to be standing close by, and I get, especially the one that had the horns that laid back. I don't know which one that one is. That goat scares me. I have nightmares.
Carol said one of them looks into her soul.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one. She'll shake it off like this, and then she's like, like this.
So, Mama Z, Misty's like, it's not green. No, it is not green. Like, we had a specific rule in our house, no green. Like, that's one of the reasons why our living room is getting painted, because Jason did not, after wearing green for a lot of years, he does not want anything green. And so that's what's funny is in the house, when you're standing there, does not look green. But when we film it, obviously, like she's looked at it, it looks green. It's the weirdest.
Doesn't look green.
No, it does not.
Well, it's a good thing I didn't have anything to do with choosing that color.
I know, right?
That's all on you.
All on me.
Yep.
See how I did that, y'all? You better come here and give me kisses. Mwah. You can cut stuff with what's in the package.
I hope he ain't making another fart joke. But yes, I'm kind of excited. I'm just gonna have to break down and watch The Mean Girls, whatever the name of that movie is. Is it The Mean Girls?
Mean Girls.
And
I agree.
because I kind of want to get a look. I want to try to make it look as close to that high school as possible, and so then that way I can just play with it, play off of it.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the cool things about Jess and Jeremiah. They stick to themes. Like when they bring in like a bunch of goats, they had like the superheroes the one time, and then they did the Mean Girls, and then they did this.
Yeah, right now they're doing Downton Abbey, which I don't watch, but I've, I started watching a lot of her videos, or not really watching, but like listening to them on my way home, and so I've noticed it's easier for her to keep up with them because there's a theme. It's just not just random names. So
how do you say that?
Jujubee.
Jujubee, can I ask some okra advice?
Sure.
I don't know if we're an expert, but we grow the snot out of it. So go ahead.
Never enough time. Hello, hello.
Yeah, there's never enough time to grow as much okra as we want to grow.
Nope.
See what I did
go
there?
ahead. Yes, I did.
You like that, don't you?
I did. You know,
I like that,
start talking about some okra.
Oh.
My grandmother used to call it that too, so I totally didn't even pick up on it.
Yeah.
Remember? No, you remember the knife I showed you?
No.
We'll go after the show, or I'll have Carol go up and go look.
You ain't gonna get Carol. Okay.
Alabama red. Can it grow in a 5-gallon bucket? A friend worried me saying they can get... Yes, they can.
They can get tall.
They can get more than 7 feet.
Mm-hmm. We grew it in a raised bed, so a 5-gallon bucket would be fine too.
8 to 10 feet,
but it'll
easy.
It'll get tall. Now, look, here's the thing about okra. Okay? It won't grow if you call it okra. It won't. It hurts its feelings when it hears you calling it that.
What's up, T?
So don't call it okra.
So one benefit that I can see to growing it in a 5-gallon bucket,
you can move it,
is that you can tip it over when you need to harvest it, because
I look like a fat fool on an 8-foot step ladder harvesting okra last summer. That's Alabama red and the Star of David.
I got a kid born in Hawaii, and I don't do hibiscus well, but they have similar flowers, so it's more for flowers for her than veggies.
Ah. I can get down with that. She'll have lots of flowers.
They are, and they're beautiful. The okra flowers are beautiful. Now, I will tell you another thing that I saw this...
They do look like that flower.
Uh-huh. Another thing that I saw this year that was really cool is I saw a lot of people who had woody okra that, got too long, but they were still rich in color and stuff. They would use them as part of their flower arrangements in their...
That's true.
It was beautiful.
Yep.
Like, the actual okra, the okra flowers, they would use those as part of their, stuff. So, 5'2", you're definitely...
You're on an 8-foot ladder.
Or, like I said, because it's in a bucket, you could tip it over to be able to grab it. And that would be... Because that's one thing, I'm not putting them in raised beds this year. Because by the time you put them up almost 2 feet, they were... I couldn't reach them. And so all the ones on the top were the ones we got seed from.
Well, in the okra's defense, you're only like 4'7".
No, I'm not. I'm 5'5". Give me a break.
They're both in the same family.
Mm-hmm. I disagree, Teresa. Teresa does not like okra. She never has.
I know. She never has.
But my family...
But she doesn't know that that's what we fed her when she came down.
My family likes to eat it raw, so that'll make you...
Yes, thank you, Jess, for introducing us to that. The Star of David right off the... Oh,
or the Alabama Red, either one of those.
So good.
The Alabama Reds and the Star of Davids are kind of squat. They're short, but they're big. They kind of look like a dreidel, but bigger. Dreidel shape. Yeah, they're in the same family. Be careful if you have an allergy. It's the girl's big new veggie to try in 2021. That and the elusive loofah. Yeah, have fun with that. I'm a little bitter at loofah. You did not feed me, Jason. I ate one green zebra tomato.
You thought it was a zebra tomato, but see, we did a Jedi mind trick and switch of hand.
Wow, TJ says I've never had it, so I've got no clue what it tastes like. It would probably grow fantastic out where you are. If they don't like it, I'll puree it into nothing and throw it in chili.
Nice, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it'll thicken up chili, any kind of soup or anything. Mm-hmm. I gotta learn how to cook okra the southern way this year. I dehydrated okra this year, lightly salted. Oh my gosh, talk about a good snack.
Yeah, now it's happening. It's happening.
So now I gotta dehydrate eggplant, kale, and okra.
we are going to put Lay's out of business in this house.
Well, yeah, I mean, and really, to be quite honest, it's healthier for you. It's good for you. You know, I actually, what's up, Alderman Farms? One thing that I have found that's very interesting, when I've been on my routes, I had kale chips and I had eggplant chips. And
can I pause you for a second because the aldermans are here?
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say that my waistline does not appreciate the wonderful things that Miss Patty Alderman has taught LaDessa. She sent Miss Patty a picture the other day. Mm-hmm. And it was this huge honking loaf. And guess what Miss Patty made tonight that LaDessa's making tomorrow morning for breakfast?
She was supposed to make them this morning, but Carol was supposed to make them, but she didn't.
And
yeah, we probably need another dehydrator. We have a pretty big one too. We have the Excalibur.
And I think I'm legally gonna change LaDessa's name to Mini Patty because she's talking about, oh, I need to talk to Miss Patty, get her recipe for, so it was something. And I don't remember.
That poor girl, she's got the little, she printed out her ebook so that she can have it. And I have to print it out every once in a while because it gets like covered in whatever. And her newest thing, and I'm going to go ahead and tell this since they're in here. So LaDessa's newest thing is she has been baking bread for the young boys.
Yeah, I told her that in the because they go live before us for Sustainable Saturdays. Mm-hmm. Y'all need to check out that live stream every Saturday because they were talking about firewood today. Mm-hmm. Now our internet, and that's one of the things. Let me go ahead and caveat this: we haven't had an issue yet. Knock on wood. But our internet was going in and out, in and out, in and out. And so I got to go watch the rest of that on replay. But they were talking about firewood and how you can be sustainable with firewood. Yeah. And so that was, when our internet went out, he was talking about axes and
right. What I liked is what he was talking about is that it wasn't just about the source of the wood being sustainable. It was that right now he uses power tools. And so how could he be more sustainable by having like an axe and a maul and all that kind of thing? Yeah, but for everybody else that don't know the story, LaDessa has started making Patty's queen loaf and just her regular sourdough. And she's been taking it down to the local feed shop.
Yes. And
giving it to the young men and the older men. But it's funny because she takes it down there and she never asks for anything. She just gives it to them. And now it's funny because when we come in, like we've come in a couple times empty-handed and they're like, no bread. So today she came in with 2 loaves of bread and handed them to them. And it was so funny because we left and then you texted me and said, yeah, go back there or call me. So we went back, and when we went back, the guy that normally takes it and you know, is the one that really loves it, he said, I put it back there, and I only told a couple of them that the bread's back there. I said, yeah, you don't want to tell everybody because it'll be gone before you get a chance to eat it. He's like, yeah, I don't want that happening. So it was funny. Yeah, so Deanna told her, because Jason was like, you're not supposed to be doing that, and so
I didn't say she's not supposed to be doing that. Deanna, I said I'm uncomfortable with her doing that.
Deanna said it's her Christian duty to feed the hungry. So that's what LaDessa tells Jason now whenever we go. She's like, Daddy, it's my Christian duty to feed the hungry. But I will say that bringing that bread, they've actually given us some cheese because they have hoop cheese down there. So they give us some hoop cheese every once in a while, kind of as a trade-off. Because like I said, every time we go in there, he always asks, what do I owe you? What do I owe you? And she's like, nothing. I just wanted to bake you guys some bread. So that's pretty cute.
Yeah. So I noticed you were doing a lot of, I didn't realize that tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, honey. Sorry. We didn't get to order our normal thing.
What's up, Farmer Meemaw? Well, we have goals right now that are really like high up on the list. We've got a puppy that we've got coming in.
2 weeks.
We've got, a couple of tools that we need to get and things like that. And so, splurging on that was kind of one of those things where it was like, pick what's more important. And the thing with that is that we can do that anytime. It's not just...
That's true.
So normally what Jason and I like to do, there is a website called The Lobster Guy, I believe.
The Lobster Guy.
And we like to order from them, and you get live lobster. They ship them overnight from Maine. And what we normally do is it's like a full meal. It's got clam chowder, the biscuits. There's like a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, you can get a filet mignon with it. Or,
you can do a surf and turf.
Yeah.
Once you get package and let Robin open it, but please Marco it to me. You got it. So yeah, it comes with several things. Like I remember that it's got the clam chowder, and there's some other appetizer.
There was stuff that we couldn't get down here, at least not good.
I don't know, but anyway, it's about $100-ish.
Yeah, and it's like the lobsters are £1.50, and it was like 2 of them.
Yeah, I don't remember all the details, but whatever it was, we tripped on it several years ago, and so we've tried in the past to do that each year for Valentine's Day. But it kind of snuck up on us this year because we've had our heads down waiting on this puppy that we've kind of not really been paying attention to stuff like that. And really, we don't really, I don't know. Valentine's Day is just...
Every day is Valentine's
one of those
Day
days.
with
you. But we are going to have steak and baked potatoes tomorrow for Valentine's Day, so that'll be good. Man, lobster is good, but I don't like to work that hard at the dinner table.
Lobster is one of my favorite meals. I fell in love with lobster in Thailand, out of all places. I think that was my very first entire lobster that I had. Because, see, growing up, my dad was allergic to seafood, and so we couldn't have it in the house. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's a true allergic or if it was psychosomatic, because if he would smell it cooking, he would, quote-unquote, throw up. But if you went out to the restaurant and Mom wanted to have her shrimp and stuff, she could go get it off the buffet and have it sitting right next to him. So
it is what it is.
But I was out in the Marine Corps in Thailand, and I finally said, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to have me a lobster.
Oh, that's what it is. Crab. Stuffed crab.
That's right.
Deviled crab. Oh,
yep.
So good.
And, and so we were sitting down in, I think it was Pattaya Beach, Thailand. Mm-hmm. And the whole meal, you got to walk in, you got to pick your lobster, pick your shrimp, pick your vegetables. Mm-hmm. It was almost like if you were going into a farmer's market. For those up and around Atlanta, it would be like going in the, what's that farmer's market up there?
DeKalb?
DeKalb Farmer's Market. Mm-hmm. And the whole meal cost me $5 American, and this was back in the early 90s. but I didn't know how to eat it. And so the waiter there had to show me how to crack the claw and pull out the tail. But since then, whoo, that's when I can get one, I will get one. Because I absolutely love it. I used to be, my thing used to be snow crab legs. Mm-hmm. Because I had a buddy in the Marine Corps up in Maine. We used to call him Grizza. Because he was, I know a lot of people know Robin Williams was hairy. But Grizz made him look like he was bald-headed. But because his parents literally lived a couple of blocks from like Stephen King. And so he taught me the proper way to eat the king crab and the snow crab legs and stuff. And those were always good too.
So I love, Tommy says, I don't care for lobster. It's too bland. I prefer crawfish. If they would only use crab oil to cook it, I would like it. So here's the great thing about it. You get them live. Mm-hmm. So you can cook them in whatever you want to cook them in. So that's actually what we did. We did a Zatarain's crab boil, whatever the seasoning and spices that are in that. So, you know, it that's the really cool thing is you get to cook it right then and there. And then I think it was scallops too. Yeah.
One of the things on my bucket list, and harvesting seafood is one of the things that's on my bucket list. Like, I want to go up to visit Old Ways, New Times and get them to teach me how to locate and harvest the scallops.
I love scallops.
And the other different things that you can, the oysters and the clams and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I also want to, and Tommy got to do it. Mm-hmm. I want to go crabbing.
Ooh, yeah.
I want to get a trap. I mean, trapping's in my blood.
Right.
And I want to trap some crabs, and I want to trap some lobsters. I have seen lobsters in the wild, in Jamaica, off of Okinawa, and in the Great Barrier Reef, scuba diving when I was in the Corps. And but I've never successfully trapped any of those, and I still want to do it.
Sorry, now I'm looking at lobster dinners. You got me thinking about lobster.
So those are some things.
Good night, Yellow Rose. I'm assuming that's Chris.
Yeah, y'all be careful out there. And roll on. But yeah, those are some things that are on my bucket list. Who is this?
Wakatomica! What is up? Somebody let that in.
Yeah.
There we go. We're going crabbing this year. Oh, that sounds like fun.
Come pick me up. Come pick me up, Uncle. Unc. Come pick me up, Unc. But yeah, that's one of the things on my bucket list. So, you got your little notebook out. So, with the Valentine's theme in mind, and we know it's a little bit chilly. That's why Robin,
baby, it's cold outside.
Her essential oil tonight is going to be all about the boom boom oil.
You did not just say boom boom oil.
It's the boom boom oil. So to properly introduce this oil, I think we got only one thing really the best way to do it. A bang, bang, bangity bang. Instead of bang, 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 bangity bang, 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 bangity bang.
Real quick, Terry Blaze is doing fine. He's doing good. We hardly ever hear from him. He's an adult, and he apparently just doesn't want to forget. He wants to forget all about the East Coast.
He's in LA this weekend. He sent you a picture of the Hollywood sign.
Yes, that was pretty cool. Yeah. So we kind of hear from him very sporadically because he's got so much.
Look, this kid's got the type of luck that the next picture that we're going to get is going to be him with like Fluffy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no doubt.
Or Arnold or somebody like Stallone.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure something.
That's
like
the kind of. I mean, this is the kind of kid that after a football game at UGA gets to walk right out and take a picture on the 50-yard line, and gets back into the locker room. So, anyway, take it away. Bang, bang, bangity bang.
Everybody's like, boom boom oil. What are you talking about?
You about to learn.
So we are going to talk about Lang Lang. If you looked at the picture in the thumbnail, that beautiful, very odd looking flower is the Lang Lang flower. And excuse me, it is a very interesting. I'm interested in this oil not just because of what it does, but how it's harvested. Like, I think this is a really cool thing. They grow it in Madagascar. Is it boom boom or poo poo oil? Excuse me. It's they cultivate it in Madagascar. And one of the really cool things is they actually have a specific time that they harvest it, and it's because they do it during a certain time of the day.
Don't pay attention.
And the reason why is because they pick it like very, very early in the morning, because the flowers are pollinated by night moths. So after that, then the temperature drops. Between the temperature dropping and the dew, it's the perfect time for them to go ahead and harvest those, and then they steam distill them, and that's where you get the oil from. What?
I thought all moths come out at night.
I mean, we see them during the day.
Those are butterflies.
No.
Those are butterflies.
So the reason why Jason calls it
I'm not the only one.
The boom boom oil.
There are, for a fact, I know 2 other dudes that call it that. I'm not going to drop any names. Maya and Ethan.
Yeah. So the reason for that is because it kind of acts as an aphrodisiac. The other cattywampus, what's up,
You
y'all?
totally ruined what I was getting ready to do.
Oh, what?
I was waiting for you to pause, and I was going to be like, freeze!
And they have it's used as an aphrodisiac.
Bang, bang,
But
bangity bang, 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 bangity bang.
And the reason why I think this is very interesting is it is actually the top note key ingredient for Chanel 5. So all of you women out there that know what Chanel 5 is, Lang Lang is actually the top note ingredient that's in that.
Is that like Johnny number 5? He's alive?
No, it is a very expensive but very popular perfume. So that's, but beyond all that, that's why Jason likes to talk about Lang Lang, because of that property. But beyond that,
there's no reason to go beyond that. Look, it's the perfect oil, okay?
Why is that?
But, well, you got the bang bang,
Uh-huh.
which then gets your heart rate up.
Well, that's the thing.
Which is great. It counts as a good cardio, if you're doing it right, good cardiovascular exercise, right? Which will probably help lower the blood pressure.
Yeah. Well, so that's...
Balance out sugars.
That's what's really interesting, because, like, as you're saying that, for no...
What?
Look at what Crystal said. So, Lang Lang is actually a vasoconstrictor, and it definitely helps promote a healthy heart. It is one of the most helpful oils to help with blood pressure. between that and like clary sage, lavender, frankincense, those guys are all of the good heart oils. It's funny because I look at this in my notes, because I have these notes from years gone past. And one of the things that I have in here is it says mood enhancer. It directly affects the olfactory system. So it immediately positively affects your mood. So it's a natural thing for depression. So if you're having, issues, and this is a good time of year for that, because there's a lot of people that have seasonal, what's it called? Seasonal
allergies,
affect disorder or something like that, where it's the winter time, there's no sun, so you're seasonal affect or something like that. Maybe Farmer Meemaw can help me out with that. But it's basically where you end up basically being depressed because of the winter time. And so that oil helps to naturally kind of bring you out of that. It also helps with insomnia. And this is one of the oils that I use. There it is. Seasonal affective disorder. I use Lang Lang in my Warrior Repose soap. And that's part of the reason is because it does help to kind of calm things down and, help. It's a mild sedative in that it helps you kind of relax. And I know that sounds a little weird, almost a little contradicting to it being a boom boom oil. But it's more of a just kind of, that's why I say mild. It's a very mild sedative. And the reason why it works so well with what I have in my soap is that I kind of double whammy punch you in the face with a whole bunch of other sedative oils in that mix. So I love what Donald said. I hate the snow syndrome. Let's see, what else do we have here? It's also, so another thing that it gets used a lot in cosmetic stuff, especially the higher end stuff, even for anti-aging creams and stuff. It helps with skin, keeping the skin kind of young looking. It helps prevent the signs of aging. So that's a good one as well.
If we were to order a 55-gallon drum of it
and take a bath in it,
just dunk.
One, you would be broke. Because it's probably pretty expensive. It sounds like it lowers inhibitions.
I'm alright with that too.
It definitely helps with libido. We'll just put it there.
You just made me drop something.
So, there's that. Whoa.
It's the Lang-a-Lang.
Another thing that it's good for ladies is to help with PMS symptoms. I believe it's in quite a few blends for women's kind of blends. So that's another thing.
What's going on, Tinker's wife? She said the Great White Northwest Oregon.
Hello. So that's pretty much.
I'm so jealous. Everybody's getting snow but us.
Why?
Because everybody's getting snow but us.
I don't want snow.
I do.
Mm-mm. So it was funny that you were saying that, like, so it's funny that you say, with the heart, you're talking about with boom boom, and then that does the heart, and then this, and then that, and you're saying it helps lower blood pressure.
It helps with respiration, prayer life.
Prayer life. How are you saying prayer life? Oh, God.
There you go.
Is that the I hate everyone syndrome? Y'all are cracking me up.
But it smells really good too.
It does. It has a very distinct smell. I'm not crazy about it by my, like, I'm not crazy about it by itself. I like it when it's like mixed with other stuff because to me it's very strong. It's got a very that's why it's perfect for perfume because it definitely has that flowery kind of smell. It's real kind of heavy on the flowery smell. And it's kind of like a sweet flower smell. So, it's nice. Dee said, I'll put it in the diffuser by the bed tonight and let you know. Yeah. So Lang Lang rubbed on your belly helps with those kind of, women pains and stuff. So it's definitely one of those to keep. Between that and clary sage, you mix those two together and that's a really good mixture for that. So yeah, it's one of my least favorite smelling oils by itself. Exactly. It's really good with lavender, clary sage, Lang Lang, or like lavender. Lang Lang. Another one that's really good is like a citrus. If you put a citrus with it, the only problem is like if you're trying to go to sleep with it, the citrus is obviously going to be kind of contradictory to that. So I'm going to post this video in my love, intimacy, and marriage group.
There you go. Just send them to Robin to be able to purchase their Boom Boom oil.
There you go.
And it does work wonders.
Yeah. So yeah.
So it's one of my. All joking aside, it's one of my favorite oils. I enjoy the smell of it.
Well, and the other cool thing about it is that it really does.
It says "I love you" without having to say it.
Sure.
I mean, you just diffuse it in the room.
So the funny part about that is, like, the minute that he found out about that, Lauren should probably take baths in those occasionally. See, this is why I like. We really do need to start doing our oil classes again because, like, when we did this oil the first time, like, it was like Robin's like school part of the and then Jason was like, "Okay, man, minute. Let me tell y'all something."
Bang, 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 and a bang.
I've used black pepper EO for ankle pain. Maybe works for. I don't know.
Black pepper will help you stop smoking.
That's what I've heard. We don't smoke, but I have heard that. But as far as regular pains, even like lavender and things like that definitely help. So
what was it?
Say I love you without saying I love you.
It's the smell version of that Cheap Trick song, More Than Words.
Well, the funny part about it is when Jason first found out about this oil, it was funny because I came home one day from work and like the whole house smelled like Lang Lang. And I was like, Jason, what are you doing? He's like, hey, baby. I'm like,
you doing?
No.
How you doing?
That's not how we do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jujube, that's interesting. Turmeric, I use turmeric topically for pain too. Turmeric and ginger. And so that's another thing is, some of those oils that you have for all those people out there that are a little chilly, there are some, and I don't mean frigid, I mean like cold, not hearted, just physically cold. There are some good oils to be able to, like warm up. I know I struggle a lot with my feet being cold, especially in the wintertime.
Which I do not understand because this woman is so hot. Now look, fellas, there's another reason for the Lang Lang. If your wife has a body temperature that makes Satan himself go, I mean, when she gets up to go pee in the middle of the night, I'm surprised it's not steam coming out. That's how hot she is. The lang-a-lang will help cool. Just put a spray knob on. That and peppermint will help cool that down so you can cuddle up again.
Yeah, no. So with and I actually use peppermint for that, but the like ginger, turmeric, those warming oils, cinnamon, those kind of things are great for putting on your feet to help kind of warm, because they will naturally kind of warm up. Yeah, they're warm, they're hot oils.
Why don't you put on oregano?
No. Well, I have used oregano on
raw.
Yeah, on my feet. Yeah.
All just oregano only, not the roller ball.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm wearing 3 pairs of socks and my feet are still cold. Yeah, I would definitely look into some of those warming, like ginger is one, turmeric is one. So what you're saying is it will help. It can. I would suggest, Misty, looking into, there's a blend called Clary Calm that is supposed to kind of help with all of those hormonal kind of back and forth stuff.
Her husband's on dialysis.
I have to check, because the problem with that is with kidney stuff, you kind of want to be really careful about that. Yeah. So, and
that's one of the things, because I worked in dialysis for a while. I know how cold that they get.
Oh yeah, because I'm assuming just even with blood circulation, it's got to be rough. But I'll look into that and see if I can find anything. And Deanna is in here. I don't know. Deanna may know, because Deanna's a nurse. So Deanna might have a little bit more information on that. Yeah. Clary Calm, I will tell you, from the time that you're 11 to 111.
Okay, this is the time for me to go.
To 111, Clary Calm is by far the oil for women, and we're just gonna go with that. Crystal superpower is drawing the heat from another person. Yeah, no, I apparently am the same way. Like you just come up to me for heat, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even have cuddle. I don't even have covers on. I just put all the covers up over on her because she said she's cold. And it's like a little furnace.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he even says you can almost see the steam coming up, because it's been cold in our room, because it's cold. And we have the wood burning stove, but Jason likes it to be kind of cool when we're sleeping. And so we're all huddled under the blankets.
Not we.
Well, I am huddled under the blankets, and I'll, open up the blanket and it's like there's steam that just...
See, this is how I know.
Good night, Teresa.
I know that I have something wrong with my brain or thyroid or something, because I'm not losing any weight. Because if I was to get underneath the covers, it's an 8-hour sauna trip.
Yeah. So I do tend to be pretty warm, warm. But
I could fry an egg on her skin. That's how hot she is.
Thanks, babe.
A bang, 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 bang. Say bang, 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 bang.
I need it to be cold when I sleep too. Crystal's opposite. I get hot and she gets ice cold, but then she puts her feet on me and now I'm ice cold and she's hot. Yeah, now that is one thing. I mean, we had to get used to early on in our marriage is my circulation was not the greatest. And so putting my feet, I love Jeremy. He's so funny. I think I read somewhere that prosciutto oil will cure everything. I'm going to tell you, we got a pig living on borrowed time. I mean, I know we told y'all.
Why don't you just come down and show us how it's done, and we'll do some videos and promote your channel and everything like that.
Mm-hmm. I know last week we kind of told y'all, hey, Jonathan, we told y'all that we were planning on butchering the second hog this weekend. Now, one, because of the weather is ridiculously cold and it's raining all the time. So we decided not to do that. But he still decided that he wanted to play games today. So that was fun. Yeah. We rotate our hogs on
pasture, grass.
Yeah, electric fencing. And because of the weather the last several days,
the solar chargers are starting to get weak, but the ground is so saturated that if he farts by a pole, it'll go whoop.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pushing. There's so much water that it's starting to push. It seems like it's pushing everything up. I don't know if it's literally the plastic and everything is just starting to get pushed up or what.
Yeah.
But
and then the wires were grounding out because he's pushing the mud up on top of the wire.
Some of the wires are actually in water.
Yeah. So it just wasn't working very well.
But most of the part of it is that the chargers, because they've been without sunshine for, I think we're going on 4 or 5 days now.
Yeah, it's been several days now.
They're not packing the wallop that they should. Those S100s from Gallagher should, if they would have the ability to be fully charged with him standing in any of that water whatsoever, it should have knocked him on his butt. But because we're going on like 5 days, and really probably even longer than that, because the week or so up to that, prior to that, it's just been all like partly cloudy, and we'd get sun for a little while.
It's been a baby week for me.
So
yeah, so it's definitely been, and so we tried putting him back because he got out one time. And we tried putting him back thinking it was a fluke or whatever, and then he got out a second time, which then meant...
the first time when Carol said she had to put a pickup, I'm like, how'd he get out? She's like, a pole fell over.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay.
Right, so just the rain, we figured we have to put him back. So we did that, and it was right about the time that Ladessa and I were getting back from the feed run, and so we helped her get him back in. We got everything situated, cleaned out the mud up underneath where the wires were and everything. Came back here, and I mean, it wasn't 10 minutes, and he was right back out again. And I think the other part is, I think we're back in a heat cycle down there again.
I think he's just lonely because we busted his...
I don't know,
his buddy.
His man parts are kind of swollen. So, what breed of hogs do y'all raise? So they are a Hampshire Berkshire cross. And I will say, what breed of hogs do we raise? The tasty kind. Because we had some pork loin. We had some pork loin that because we processed the other hog this past weekend. And so they cut them up and put them in the freezer. And the night that they got everything put up, Carol pulled out out some pork loin.
This is that whole process. It was supposed to be cold for like 3 or 4 days straight, and it wasn't. We processed them on a Saturday. Sunday it was cold, but then Monday it jumped. It got up to the 60 degrees.
It was almost 70 degrees Tuesday.
Yeah, and so Tuesday it started climbing again, and so I had him hanging up in a tree to try to pull all the blood. So it was just getting too warm. So I threw him in a cast iron tub, and we just covered him in ice.
Ice, yeah.
And so since he was down like that, and then Wednesday we started cutting it. Well, really covered him in ice, and we started right there in the tub.
Well, we had to because he didn't fit all in the tub.
We took the hams off, stuck them in a refrigerator. Took the shoulders off, stuck them in the refrigerator. And so then we ran out of room in the refrigerator, and so we covered him up with a tarp, and plus we were running out of daylight. The next day, so I just said, you know what? This is going to be a kind of a bad butcher anyway. I used it as a teaching moment with Carol. And so I taught her how to cut the hams off. I told her how to cut the shoulders off. Mm-hmm. And got her to just pay attention to the pig. Mm-hmm. Let the pig tell you where to cut.
Right.
Now, granted, it was harder teaching her that while the thing was sitting inside the cast iron tub. But we got it. And so then the next cut, I wanted those loins out. We had to get those loins out. And Carol's like, I want to do it. And I was like, okay, go on over there and do it. Just let the
follow the bones.
Follow the bones. And she did a better job than Blaze did.
I'm going to tell you, there is something about her, and I say this, it's going to sound really crazy, but there's something about her with a knife. She is very efficient with the chicken butchering situation. She can break down a chicken after it's time to package it up within 30 seconds. Like, she is a machine. And so it doesn't surprise me, you didn't tell me that, but it doesn't surprise me that she was good with the knife to get those loins out. She's
definitely going to be a force to reckon with, for a force multiplier.
Breakaway.
For us when it comes to butchering and processing, at least over the next couple of years, to the point where Jeremy is right. Once we get that cold room built, because of how Carol is now, just after one time, the next one, I'm pretty much gonna I'm just gonna sit back with the next one, and come to the third one.
Oh yeah, you'll be able to walk away.
I'll be able to walk. I really believe I'll be able to walk away, and so then that's really gonna up our ability to be able to do 2 and 3 hogs at a time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dee was here when Carol was. She was even good with the hog when we shot him and had to,
She got a little. She was like the feral kid from Mad
Well,
Max.
she went to do it one way, and you're like, no, just stab him. And she's like, booga booga.
She took my entire K-bar. I said, baby, you got to get in there and cut his jugular. So she went to take the K-bar like this. I'm like, no, stick him. And
she was ready to, just saw, I guess. And instead she's like, wham! He's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Something right out of a Saw movie or something.
I love Lone Star was like, sounds like y'all got a butcher on your hands. Or a surgeon. She's not focused enough for a surgeon.
Yeah.
Y'all come out here, we can take her to my family's slaughterhouse. That would be cool. I think she is going to be very helpful when we start talking about deboning stuff and like for that prosciutto ham. I think she's going to be very good at cleaning the femur away from
I think
meat.
a lot of it, and this is just me just guessing. Carol is very artsy. Mm-hmm. And so she...
Right, she's very detailed. Yeah.
She's very detailed oriented. Mm-hmm. And I honestly think that it's just like how we say when Carol gets behind the camera, she sees things differently than we do. Her eyes have been blessed by God to see things differently.
Yeah, her perspective is totally different.
And I think she looks at things completely different when it comes to doing the processing and stuff like that. And I think that she just, from her eye, she just sees it in a different way than we do, and things are easier for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Breakaway, I planned on watching that. I saw your thumbnail. I definitely want to see that. But yeah, so the butchering thing, so we got the pork loins out, and because of the time frame and everything else, we kind of wanted, so I became the guinea pig. It was you try it first. It wasn't Jason try it first. It wasn't Carol try it first. It was Robin, you try it first. Make sure nobody dies.
Let's be honest though. My sense of taste cannot be trusted right now.
Yeah, no, and I totally agree with that. And I was just obviously just picking on you, but yeah.
I mean, you're cutting a little deep right now.
Jason's taste buds have been really whack lately. We'll have something and he'll be like, "Gosh, we had fried chicken one night," and Jason's like, "It tastes like fish. It tastes like it's been in fish oil or blah." And I was like, where are you tasting that? Like, none of us could taste that.
And the scrambled eggs that we had the other day that just fell out the chicken's butt.
Yeah, no.
They tasted bad to me. They tasted like they were spoiled.
And they were brand new, so it wasn't even a possibility. So they were still warm. So I go to eat it. And then the other thing is, there's always been this back and forth about whether you castrate a hog or you don't castrate a hog, or this, that, and the other. And so our first experience with eating a male hog that we raised was our big bore hog that died when we first got here. And I was not going to say that, but he was huge, and he was several years old. So we butchered him, and I promise you, I tasted taint in his meat. Didn't smell it, but I thought it was that. Jason assures me, because when we ate the rest of the meat, it wasn't that, like, I didn't taste it as much, but in the sausage, it tasted bad to me. Like, even to this day, if we had some, I would throw up as soon as I go to eat it. And again, it could be psychosomatic. It very well could be. But I couldn't do it. Like, it was a no-go. Like, even if we mixed it with beef to make meatballs, I could still taste it. So, we've always kind of gone back and forth about that. Well, when I went to the workshop with Hand-Hewn Farms at HOA, I was talking to them, and they said that
Terry,
a 3 or so year old hog is perfect for charcuterie because the flavor has really kind of set in on the hog. And I flat out asked him, I have 2 males, but they're still intact. And he said, as long as you keep them away from the females and keep them separate, it should not be a problem. Well, at one point, we were getting ready to butcher these hogs, and they were getting out constantly and going down to that pen down there. And their man parts were very swollen. So we decided against it at the time because I was like, even though they're not with them, they're still close enough that they obviously can sense that smell. And they were very much worked up over that. So we chose not to butcher them. Well, last weekend, they were still shriveled up and good. No issues. And so we went ahead and butchered the one. And so, of course, I was a little apprehensive because here I now have a 3-year-old hog that we're going to be eating. And he was still intact. And what's this going to taste like? And I'm going to tell you, it was fine. There was no extra flavor to it or nasty flavor. It didn't stink when we cooked it. It was completely okay. And these guys have decent size man parts. So,
and I think it also goes back on the kill.
Well, that too. I do agree with that.
You know, when Obama was taken out, he was out running around. They were chasing him, supposedly doing all this other stuff.
Yeah, the adrenaline.
And they killed him. Mm-hmm. Because every deer that I have killed has been during the rut. Yeah. So his man parts are all swelled up. That's all he's thinking about. But he never knew I was there. Mm-hmm. And I busted him, and it caught him. Caught him completely off guard. I made a kill shot, so maybe he went 20 yards and dropped. Whether it was with a bow or a rifle.
Right.
And
this one was the same way. This hog, it was
and
quick.
I have tasted deer that have been run by dogs and killed.
Oh yeah.
And they have that gamey taste to it.
Yeah.
And so I honestly believe that it's really, if there's no adrenaline going, like with this guy.
Yeah, he was eating.
He was walking up to get ready to eat. He looked up at me. I looked at him. Booyah! Right there. Dropped
Down he
him.
went. He immediately dropped.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, he was delicious. I mean, I'm not even going to lie. It was very tender. Even for being a 3-year-old hog, that loin was nice and tender. It was not chewy. I'm really looking forward to the hams.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to start processing them tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got to wait because we got to get the pickling spices. That's in the mail for the ham.
Well, it still needs to
brine it.
Wrapped up, put in the freezer.
Oh, I thought we were just going to go ahead and brine it, but okay.
Well, I mean, it can't sit in there waiting on the mail.
Yeah, that's fine. We can put it up. I thought you had already done that part.
No, I'm going to cut the hawks and the trotters off of them, get them wrapped up, put in there. That way when we get that stuff, we can do it. We do have bacon in the refrigerator getting brined. I'm going to try to make a video on that. I'm not promising anything. We are doing a lot of, well, you guys know our goal by the end of 2021 is for hot sauce here to be home all the time, 24/7. And so we are hardcore focusing on that, and that's one of two reasons why we haven't not been putting any videos or anything like that out. And the second reason is we'll be sharing that probably at a later date. We just don't have enough information yet. So we're going to try and get you guys a bacon video out, but it will be smoked with pecan wood. And so last time that we did this with the pecan wood, it came out fantastic. I loved it.
She has to make sure they rinse out the bacon really good before we hang it.
Blaze let it sit in the brine
much
longer than it should have.
It's only supposed to be like 7 days.
And he did not rinse it very well, and it was high in salt. I loved it. It reminded me of like country ham bacon.
That's exactly what it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I would like to maybe, and this is why I really want to invest in that bandsaw, because I want to make ham slices and do some.
Don't go bacon my heart.
I miss you guys, man. I can't wait.
Y'all need to come on down.
I can't wait for us to be able to have the time to hang out and catch back up.
Yeah.
You guys have been on my mind a lot, and especially you, Jason. I've been just praying for you and your safety hardcore. And I know we don't get to talk that much because we're both super busy, but I just want to let you know that you're in my thoughts and prayers, and I got your 6, but I mean, there ain't no buts to it, but you have definitely been on my mind, and I've been praying for you a lot, bro. So I don't know if you guys know I'm going on or not, but just there. And for those of you who don't know, Jason at Cattywampus Acres is one of our heroes. He is a police officer, and so he's out there putting it on the line every day for us, for our safety, to help keep this nation rolling and rolling forward, and to keep things safe for everybody. And so y'all say a prayer for him and his safety, especially with there's all this pandemic going around and all that other mess that's going around.
Nurses got your 6. That's awesome.
Yep.
So Wakatomica says 2% to 2.5% salt by weight on the bacon size is my recipe. Yeah, I think that's about where we were. Jennifer said, we have a brisket in the smoker right now. I want a fancy smoker like y'all have. I will tell you, we have something up our sleeve for St. Patrick's Day. And that's going to involve the smoker.
Yes.
So,
matter of fact,
there will be a video on that one. I can promise you that.
Jason, do you guys think y'all can come down for St. Patrick's Day? That would be cool if y'all could. That weekend.
Well, yeah, because I think we said it's on a Wednesday. So
Yeah.
it would be either the weekend before or the weekend after that. So, but yeah, that's going to be fun. We're excited about that.
Yeah, super, super excited about that. That's going to be, man, if we rock that, what's up?
You're a weirdo tonight. Too much, what does Blaze call it? Himium? Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe, maybe no.
Maybe. Big old six-pack of Guinness.
Car bombs are in the future.
I'll speak with my secretary. I hope she does not. I hope you don't call her that to her face. She might beat you up for that one. Ready for September Big Bear Jam 2.
Yep, that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. Yep. We're excited about that. I can't wait for that.
We got a lot of things in the works.
Jason's gonna smoke a leprechaun.
Dadgummit, Sherry.
I should have poloed you and told you not to say anything about it.
Flab it. So.
Real quick before we finish out our live, I don't know how many
Like
of
that's
y'all.
just gonna be done.
I don't know how many of y'all paid attention to the thumbnail, but so I did a thing today. We went by the store to drop off the bread, to only drop off the bread.
That is, you're a lion cur dog. See, you used your daughter. Let's go make some bread for those boys so we can stop by to see what plants they got.
Mm-hmm. Plant some Lucky Charms. Leave us short people out of this. Thanks, Misty. Appreciate that one.
Thank you, Misty. Misty's paying her plant support.
Yeah, that's what it is. So no, she's paying for chickens, Polish chickens. So so we went by the farmer, the Feed and Seed, and
You know what? I'm gonna change these GIF images thingies. We're gonna change them.
okay.
Because every time you say that you did a thing, it's like somebody throws us a super chat because I don't know if they're afraid I'm going to have a heart attack. Because some of the times when you slip out this I did a thing, it's actually the first time I'm hearing about it. Or they're paying their chicken and plant support checks. So I think I'm going to get dancing plants and dancing
That would
chickens.
be cool. I like that. So I went to the Feed and Seed, and it was really funny because
All your enabler
I even
friends.
said to Ladessa before we even got there, I said, I wonder if they've put out any plants yet this year. It should be soon. So we pull up, and sure enough, they got flats of plants out. And so Ladessa's like trying to go in, like she's trying to keep me away from them. And she's like trying to walk in. She's like, Mom, I need you to get the door. And I'm like, You can get the door yourself. I'm going to look at plants. And so I went over there, and
I love how you breeze past this. My child could have gotten kidnapped in the feed and seed and forced into bread slavery. But their own mama didn't care. Nope, I'm looking at plants.
Exactly right. So we went ahead and looked at the flats. Now they had Swiss chard and lettuce and cabbage and that kind of stuff, and I'm not as concerned about those because all of those are about 50-ish days, and I have a bunch of those started in flats in the seed room. Oh, it's Daryl, not Sherry. You done messed up. So
Traitor.
So I went and I almost just walked past all of it because I saw mostly like cabbage leaves and things like that, and I was like, I don't need any of that. I got that started at the house. Well, then I looked up at the top shelf, and
who are you trying to... Everybody right now is looking at this screen going, okay, Robin, we love you, just don't lie. There is no way that you were going to walk past plants and not look at all of them.
Right, I was. And so that was the thing, is that I looked at...
Later, Jason.
I started at the bottom and looked up. And so I was seeing nothing but the stuff that I already have. And so I had almost finished...
Let us know about St. Patty's weekend.
I'd almost finished looking all the way to the top. And that's when I saw them. They had more Brussels sprouts. And they were good looking plants. Have you seen them? They're like super healthy, nice, good starts. And the thing is, at my place, they'll sell me a flat of 36 plants for $20. So that's, I mean, to me, that is a pretty good deal, especially since we didn't get Brussels sprout seeds started.
Hi.
I'll have my person contact your person. And I had not started Brussels sprout seeds in time. But with these plants being as far along as they are, we will still have plenty of time, at least Jason says. We'll have plenty of time to get them in the ground and harvest them before it gets too warm. So we're going to, I mean, for $20, I mean, that's, that's not a lot of money for most people. I mean, it's $20.
Spoken like a true addict. Oh, that heroin, it was only $20. That's not a lot of money.
Yeah, but heroin doesn't feed my family. Brussels sprouts do. And most recently, we found out that the Brussels sprout leaves are actually very tasty. They taste like a cabbage collard kind of flavor. So not only can you eat the Brussels sprouts, but you can eat the leaves. So it's almost time for us to pull out the Brussels sprouts because we've been harvesting off of them. So it's almost time for us to get rid of those. So these guys came at the perfect time. So yeah. I'm going to rotate out some of the other, like we had some cauliflower, so I'm going to put those in those beds, and then we'll pull the Brussels.
Everything's coming in. I think you got the timing nailed almost perfectly, because you got more cabbage that's ready to go, and we've got like three or four more heads of that we need to go out there and harvest. Mm-hmm. The broccoli's ready to be rotated out.
We could do that tomorrow with our...
We are getting the plywood for my crosscut slet tomorrow.
Right. What I'm saying is we can do that with the steak and potatoes tomorrow if you want. We can do some steamed broccoli.
What's up?
I'll make like a little garlic.
I mean, why not? We've
been
eating the cabbage and the lettuce brains and stuff like that all week. I mean, why not just pull on another thing that makes us gassy?
Yeah, we probably have some Brussels sprouts that we should harvest too.
You think? We might as well go through it.
That's what I'm saying. I think there's still some out there because we've got 36 plants that are fixing to be put up. So
go through
Homestead Odyssey. Hello.
pull them out, put the new ones in.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't want to put them in the exact same bed because whatever was in those beds is probably depleted for Brussels sprouts. So
right.
I've already pulled a bunch of where the cauliflower was and the cabbage was.
That bombed.
Yeah, the cauliflower. Well, it didn't. It didn't bomb.
No, it didn't bomb. It ladessed.
No. What happened is...
Oh, you don't know. Yeah, I caught the little munchkin.
Okay. What I know that happened is that we had some that got attacked by the frost, by the repetitive frost. A little bit of frost would have been okay. But this year, with all the frost that we've had more frost days this year than we've probably had in the last 4 years.
I was going to say, last 7 years that we've been here combined.
It's been really, really rough on the plants. And so the cauliflower just got too moist. And so it kind of rotted a little bit. And so those heads, we took those and we just took the whole plants and gave them to Leia and the piglets, and they loved it. So that's one of the things about when you have hogs is it's never a true failure because you can always use it for feed.
Yep.
So that's, until
you get a hog completely spoiled.
No, she ate all that. So I don't know if, because I've kind of backed off of giving her Swiss chard, because I haven't had any Swiss chard to give her lately.
You know what I found is so funny that you never want to talk about. But you had her so spoiled on the Swiss chard that she passed that on
to her piglets. Yes.
And out of the entire garden, when they got out that day, the entire garden.
Yeah, because they had to go past all that other stuff.
They went past the Brussels sprouts. They went past the cauliflower, the broccoli,
cabbage, all of it.
The eggplant was still there.
Yeah, the eggplant was there.
All this other stuff.
They went right past it and went straight
to the Swiss chard.
Straight to the Swiss chard, and they mowed it to the ground.
They rooted it up. There was nothing left.
Well, no, some of it they did that, but most of it they just ate it down to almost the base. I am just now starting to get, because it will grow back. That's why I just kind of left it, but I'm just now starting to get more Swiss chard coming up. So, yeah, they definitely like Swiss chard.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, the thing I go back to is, even the guy that's out there that got a stay of execution, he was chomping on all of the cabbage that we had harvested in a hurry when the tree fell.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle.
We decided to go ahead and pull whatever we had in the ground just in case the tree got a little too close. And so we took all of that and we tossed it to him. There was some red cabbage and the regular cabbage, and there was some broccoli and cauliflower, I think, in there. And we threw all that in there, and he was having a heyday with it. Our piglets will straight up eat the green before they'll eat anything else. And it's so funny because Dee said anything green that she gives them, she said it was so funny because she was telling Chris, I had spoiled even the piglets. He's like, it's a pig, it'll eat anything. She's like, no, I don't think you understand. He most definitely, these piglets, they love greens. Swiss chard, collards, kale, anything like that. They love them. And I have to say, it's obviously working because that pork that we have is fantastic. It's very good.
Yeah. And that's going to be one of the things that, over this next year, I have Kyle, we have one more big oak we have to take out. Right there by the shop. Because I have changed direction. I think I'm going to take that red barn and scoot it right there to where the wood pile is right now, off of the barn. Mm-hmm. Right there, so that way it would go the red barn in between first moo and first oink, right in there, and then the shop. I think it's because I'm going to be bringing water to the shop anyway, and so that way we'll have water right there with them. You have water there. Because then the back side of that, I think that's where we need to just put the processing area and
that area back there is kind of useless because there's like almost like concrete. I think that might be where they had the chickens or whatever back in the day. So speaking of chickens, we're not speaking of chickens right now. I want chickens.
So okay guys, we've been on here almost an hour and a half. That was your 30-minute southern goodbye right there. So we appreciate y'all hanging out with us and spending this last hour and a half with us. Y'all try to stay warm. Be safe out there if you got to go out. Kyle, Jason, you guys be safe out there with this crazy weather. Just try to stay in your house. Stay home.
Yeah, any of our friends in Texas, stay off the roads.
Yes.
Because apparently that is a bad
mojo.
Bad juju right now, so stay off the roads.
And remember to plant smiles.
Grow giggles.
And harvest the love, baby. Yeah. Use your lang-a-lang for the bang, bang, bangity bang. Said a bang, bang, bang. Bangity bang. Said bang, bang, bangity bang. Bang, bang, bang. Bangity bang. We will see you guys next week. Recycle, reuse, repurpose. Keep stuff out of the landfill. Be kind to one another. See you guys next week.
Good night, y'all.
God bless.